All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Focus Group. Today being Tuesday, and it is hashtag the Reflection Tuesday. Tukukuletea mambo ambayo yamekuwa yakifanyika kwa masaa machache ambayo yamepita, trying to bring together all that maybe you missed whenever you are watching on the social media or on the mainstream media. My name is Sharon Paul, na kama kawa tuko hapa ndani na Thuku Mwita. Bwana Thuku.
Yes sir.
Habari ya jioni?
Mzuri sana.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Nani anafaa kukaribisha mwenzake?
Mwenye tu atakaribisha.
Hapa ndani ya the Focus Group watu tunakaribishana na tunasema ni shukran sana for always being there, always watching, and that's the reason why we always come to you and ask for you to subscribe, follow us, share, and always leave a comment. The comments keep us going and help us to understand and to know the kind of discussions you'd like us to bring to you. Follow us on our YouTube channels at Sharon Paul SP, and that is Facebook. On YouTube it is Sharon Paul Media, samahani sana, and Thuku Mwita Thuku, as well as Sharon Paul SP ndani ya Facebook, and Thuku Mwita Thuku ndani ya Facebook. Nimesema vizuri sio?
Umesema vizuri.
Unajua hii jina lako saa zingine nikanganya bwana.
Jina sio rahisi.
Haikuangi jina rahisi, na unasema wewe ulinyimwa jina ya Kiingereza.
Yeah.
Sasa leo, ulikuwa unataka kusema kitu?
Nilikuwa nasema tu hiyo jina ina watu wengi.
Kuna mtu alikuwa anakufanyia inatoje kuna mtu alikuwa anaiba jina lako kidogo.
Uko pale kwa Facebook.
Pale kwa Facebook. Wale ambao wanafanya online writing wanaitangaje? Hiyo.
Achana nayo. Ikikataa imekataa.
Hiyo imekataa. Sasa ndani ya the Focus Group leo tunafanya kitu ambacho inaitwa the Reflection Tuesday. Na ndani ya Reflection Tuesday tuko na stories kama 2-3 hivi ambazo tungependa tuwalete. We get to hear your thoughts and opinions about that as we also engage ourselves ndani ya hizi stories 2 ambazo tutakuwa tunaletea, na moja nyingine kidogo tutakapokuwa tukimaliza. Bwana Mwita.
Yes sir.
Ilikuwa ni jana ama the other day, nadhani ni jana, ndani ya gatuzi la Nakuru. That is Nakuru County.
Yes.
Former and immediate MP of Bahati, Mheshimiwa Ngunjiri wa Kimani. There was some scuffle on a piece of land that is, I think it's half an acre.
Yeah.
Na katika hizo harakati za kupigania hapa kule, risasi vilifyatuliwa. There was a scuffle between the CAS. He is actually the Chief Administrative Secretary of Land. Na alikuwa na panda shuka na vuta ni kuvute kidogo na mwandada fulani ambaye ni miaka 60 ndani ya gatuzi la Nakuru kuhusu a piece of land that is half an acre. Now it brings me to this very first topic that we're going to discuss. What is really happening ndani ya mambo na mashamba? Manake huyu ni CAS, Chief Administrative Secretary, na vile vile alikuwa is an immediate member of parliament Bahati ndani ya Nakuru. Amerudi huko, yeye ndi msaidizi msimamizi ndani ya mambo na mashamba, na anapatwa katika panda shuka vuta ni kuvute ya mashamba.
First of all, Bwana Sharon.
Yes.
The news that the former MP for Bahati shot someone wasn't so surprising to me, but that's besides the point. Now,
umezoea nayo na waheshimiwa wenu.
Yes. So now, first of all, sijui ni nini kwa Nakuru. Naweza taka ku understand why. You know the CS for lands comes from the same place. Unajua hivyo?
Oh yeah.
Then here is the Chief Administrative Secretary. He's also from the same place. I do not know what is happening in Nakuru. Maybe they walisema we want to control land. Hence now the news findings that someone has been shot by the same people who are supposed to protect. You see, if you're going to get into a land wrangle, the backstreet style, then it's called the Godfather style.
Yeah, lazima upate kila mara kushika mkono.
So now, there's a movie used to call The Godfathers. Have you ever watched it?
The Godfathers. I remember
kimafia hivi nini.
Umesema The Godfather, mimi nimekumbuka The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Haina shida. So now he is one person who's supposed to take control in this docket of lands. And he's taking his fights to the streets. Simply because he was protecting himself does not excuse him from the initiative.
Tulisema unaacha kama imekataa.
The originality. Yani kehumo kiabare. He shouldn't have been there wakijibizana na hawa watu in the first place.
Yeah, it was a family
he's the CS. He's supposed to lead by direction. He's supposed to tell us if you have some land disputes, there are proper channels of doing it. So now if the people who are supposed to show us how to dispute these things are the ones who's taking their battles to the streets, then he gives a very bad direction. Not forgetting the CAS comes from the same area. So I'm yet to find out, I'm yet to see within the 5-year term kama wataserve if that is how they are going to be handling issues. Him and the CS, I'm not saying the CS is improper for that, but they do come from the same region. So that also raises some quite questionable issues there. There are some questions that I would love personally to hear. How a CS, it's not wrong constitutionally, but it can be put question why the CS and the CAS come from the same region. And now we have the CAS who's taking his bullets to people's hands.
Yeah, he's feeding people bullets instead of feeding them.
And you see, these are the people who've been mandated to oversee these issues. So it leaves you the question if the lady arguing that the land is also has a chance for a fair case. You understand? It could be Ngojiri's land, we do not dispute.
It could be
but
the lady's
up
land.
until the courts rule whose land it is, then we do not know. So it also gives you the question, is this a fair fight, quite honestly?
Actually, by mentioning the lady, she's a 60-year-old lady. Alikuwa pale na watoto wake. And I think we have a soundbite in one of the videos that we have just to listen in and get to have a one-on-one experience from what was happening there. I believe
Monday morning.
Mimi nilikuwa pale kwa ng'ombe, nikaona wameaja kubomoa hilo giri. Ndio nikateremuka. Kuteremuka nikaona amenioneshea nini? Amenioneshea risasi. Mimi sikuogopa, nilikuja tu nikamfukia. Nikamwambia hebu nipige risasi. Nipige tu risasi. Nikamwambia nipige risasi. Hakunipiga, akafidukia watoto yangu.
Now you see, the lady was there trying to fight back to also show possession and ownership of the land. And the CAS was also there trying to do the same. Mwanadada akamwambia mimi siogopi risasi. Fanya vile utafanya. The guy turned and fired to the crowd that was slowly mailing to see actually what is happening there.
Actually, I think the bullet caught a bystander. It wasn't someone involved in the wrangles. Do you have the sound bite?
Yeah, actually, I think I have the same as well. Huyu alikuwa mpita njia ambaye, that's why at times we say
lazima tusikize. ASP, you see, if your neighbor is going through stuff, then you need to get close and listen. No, but the point to whereby every other politician need to protect themselves with the guns they're given, then it gets very difficult. You see, Ngonjiri wasn't supposed to be in that place at the first place. So he knows the land is his, and the land has some disputes. If he has no knowledge of how to take his case to the proper channels, then he has no business being the CAS. Exactly. And if it was the lady who shot Ngonjiri, I would have understood. But now it's the CAS for lands who's taking his case to the streets. If he has no idea where to go and take his grievances, then I think it's better for him, a pave way for someone who knows how to handle these issues better. Because he is one person who we are giving 35 million Kenya shillings in mortgage allowances. We are giving him a whole crew to work with.
Just continue.
We are giving him a whole crew to work with. These people have salaries. So this person should be someone who knows what they're doing. You understand?
Yeah.
I do not dispute. He was protecting himself. I saw someone trying to clobber him with a shocker. But that's not the issue. Ngonjiri should have not been in that place to start with. You understand?
Okay.
Now, you know what Rugiri is? Rugiri is fence. I think you take your soundbite first before you continue.
Get a passerby.
Sasa mimi nilikuwa nimesimama, risasi ikakuja ikanipata ikanigonga hapa mkono. Sasa mimi ninashindwa ni nini nimefanya, na mimi hata huko kwa Tom mimi sina shamba huko. Mimi sina shamba huko, mimi tu ni mtu nimekuja tu huko kujitafutia mimi ungangu.
So is this guy I think from his story he was a passerby, but
yes.
He as well works in this
yes.
piece of land that is
yes.
bringing forebuilds.
Yes.
Okay, now you can continue what you're saying. That while you're mentioning that sisi kama majirani, you can't be hearing that a neighbor is being attacked and you're quiet. I just wanted to put this across, though it was on a light note, that at times, you know, when the Englishman said that people should learn how to mind their own businesses.
You see, SP, we live in an African setting. African settings means your neighbor's business is your business.
Exactly.
You understand?
Nobody can die alone.
Especially in areas like Bahati. In Nairobi, utapiga nduru kwako na mimi sitatoka. You see? But where I come from Shads, I will want to know what is going on in the next Boma if I hear a cry. You understand? Wanasemaga mpaka mtoto anakuzwa na community. You get?
Yeah.
So you will want to go and hear what is happening to your neighbor. And if this guy was working in that farm, then it gives him a reason to be there.
Exactly.
You get?
However much he says that he was a passerby,
yes,
it gives him all the reason to be there.
To be there.
To also see what is happening to this lady,
yes,
to the neighbor, and
yes,
to understand. You know, they're always our first eyewitnesses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that being all that's besides the point. My point being, the first action that should be taken here, right now, by the president, ni kusimamisha Ngonjiri kazi. I believe that's the first step, even before we start any other conversation.
Hakuna commission of inquiry, investigation.
No, but SP, tufuate sheria. Let's not be too layman on these issues. Here is Ngonjiri. He's even confessing himself. He shot someone in self-defense. So, wewe kama umenyang'anywa shamba, Bwana Sharon, kwenda kubomoa hiyo shamba fence, it does not give you the right
of possession and ownership.
You get? So if there is land dispute, the first thing you do, you go to the courts. Get court orders, the police will do the job ya kwenda kufukuza huyo mtu. If there is any dispute,
kulikuwa na polisi hapo.
Kulikuwa na polisi. But I do not believe Ngonjiri had any business being there. You get?
Yeah.
Him especially being a CAS of land. He should have taken his grievances through the right channel. And, if he took his grievances through the right channels, Bona SP, hange shoot mtu.
Na pia
hangeumia venye anasema ameumia.
Alisema, though there was a video, part of the clip that we have, somebody was going to clobber him with
I saw that. I do not dispute.
With an axe.
But you should get my point, Bona Sharon. If he did not initiate the issue, hakuna mtu angemkloba. You get? And him being a leader, he should know how to approach these things. Sharon hautakuja kwangu kuninyang'anya shamba na ninyamaze. There must be some retaliation. You understand? And he knows that. And that is why he probably came with a gun, because he knew something was going to grow out of it. Silio? You get?
I get you.
So you get my point?
Now,
and I think people have had enough of this, Bona Sharon. Politicians getting away with too much is aching people too much. You get? That is why you seeing, I think you have another story of somewhere else, people are getting gunned down. Polisi wakiwa hapo. Because people have had enough. Umesikia umama venye amesema?
Amelia sana.
Amesema yeye hakuona uoga.
Amelia sana, and actually amechallenge bwana CS ati mimi siogopi risasi.
Siogopi?
Kuja ukiatulie mimi risasi. However,
Kikuyu people say when you've pushed someone to the corner, when you push them to the corner kabisa, it is not necessarily they are going to go away. They're going to come at you. You get? In Kikuyu they say, "Kirege go shiarone ke kuogithio." You get? Whatever will be given back, itanyonyeshwa tu.
Whatever that is, eh?
Yes. So, but when you push people to the corner, you will get some retaliation. Bon SP.
Yeah, people have to defend themselves.
People will defend themselves. People will have to defend themselves. Yes.
Okay, I can see this is Damaris Mutula. I always call her Madam CNN, Madam Al Jazeera, Madam BBC, Madam New York, ile gazeti ya New York inaitwa New York Sky,
New York Times.
Yeah, New York Times. Yeah, amesema inaitwa plagiarism. Ile kizungu ambayo ilinishinda.
Yenye ilikushinda.
Unajua saa zile umekuja kwa kamera, saa zingine mdomo inakuwa mzito.
Buda, siku hizi unahaibisha Homabe. Unajua siku hizi bana. Unahaibisha Homabe sana siku hizi.
Sasa Dewe pia hapo ameuliza inakuaje? Ama itakuwa kuzuri, relax tu tukimaliza show tunampigia simu.
Wakili.
So you're talking about a story. Let me take people now across borders kidogo. There's another story of almost a replica of this, what is happening. Because what we actually see happening with Kimani Njuri, the CIS for land, acquisition of that land, maybe not, from either the CIS or maybe this other lady who ended labda ikuwa through the right channel. And that is where we crown all this illegal acquisition of land, property, and every other thing that it should not be in your possession, corruption. Now, let's go to India. It's a very interesting story, and it is a very sad story as well. Just to get a pull-up of one of the headlines that we have, taxes and bribes are common between state borders. These are state borders in India. Transparency International estimates that truckers annually pay an approximate of 28 million Kenyan shillings in bribes. And where does this money go to? Rogue government officials. And to continue with it a little, it again indicates that both government regulators and the police share. Unasikia ni kina nani? Government regulators and police share in bribe money to the tune of 43% and 45%, respectively. Whatever I'm trying to talk about is about a former Indian president, Indian prime minister, who was accused of a lot of corruption injustices, and he used to walk scot-free. But alikuwa anapata protection kutoka kwa serikali. He was having police bodyguards, and that video I think was pulled down by YouTube. Before this thing was pulled down, we could see that Indian not prime minister, but Indian minister, he's a former minister, with a brother walking the streets, and they had the police security. I think maybe they were being arrested or something, but to have a twist of whatever really happened, wananchi ndio walikuja wakafyatua marisasi, and they were killed on broad daylight. Papo hapo too in the streets. And if you look in other states like China, Mr. Mwita, China and India, they don't condone something called corruption.
Yes.
In China, it is indicated that once you are only suspected of corruption,
yes,
you will face the full wrath of the government. And I'm told, actually, if investigations are done to the point that now you are guilty of that corruption, wewe bibi yako na watoto wako wote, you are being taken to the firing squad, and it is done publicly. Kama kitu kama hiyo inaweza fanywa kwako, can you even think of kuiba pesa ya CDF ama kuiba
hado wezi fikiria kukaribia.
Now you see in India, I think people were fed up. These were raias who took matters into their own hands. This is a former minister walking the streets with a brother, and from nowhere, amidst being protected by police, they were fired to very many gunshots that took place there. When we come back home in Kenya, what do? When we see people have garnered a lot of wealth, tunawapatia titles, mdosi, kiongozi, budabos. We praise even wealth, property that have not been acquired through the right channels. And now it brings me to the very many questions of matters to do with corruption. What should be the best penalty to corrupt government members, be it an official in the government, be it a member of parliament, be it anybody within the government who is being suspected of corruption, and investigations have been done, and it is true that amepatwa guilty of corruption. What should be the best penalty hapa Kenya? Manaki India tumeona raia wamechoka, wamechukua bunduki, wamefyatua. Former minister and the brother, they were walking. Yeah. Government ilikuwa na protect.
Yes.
Actually, at the time of shooting, they were surrounded by
policemen.
A team of policemen. China, just by the mere suspect that you're being suspected of corruption, una stand aside, and the moment that wamegundua after investigation that you are actually guilty of the corruption deal, firing squad. Wewe, bibi na watoto watachukua mpaka mpango wa kando, girlfriends waweke hapo, firing squad on national TV. What's your take?
No, Bwana Sharon, I was trying to get some descriptions there. John Githongo described the Kenya corruption in a very unique way. I was trying to get, there are 3 levels of corruption as Mr. Githongo described it. I couldn't get it, lakini I'll try and get it tomorrow. So now, the level of corruption in Kenya and the level of corruption that made those 2 gentlemen get gunned down in India, it's the level that kills an economy. And in Kenya, we have the 3 levels. That is the ground level. That is the exchange of bribery between me, with the civil servants, and anybody else for simple service, government services. There's the next level where you'll have a politician asking for kickbacks for either a tender given or something else. Now we have those capital corruption where people are literally minting money from the government, like the Kimorel corruptions and the 14 billion missing.
Huge amounts of money.
Huge amounts of money. That is milking the government of the little it has. Now that is what killed the government. But trust me, John Githongo said, all these 3 kills the government. You understand? Because the petty corruption facilitates for the capital corruption. Because it starts from the bottom going up. Yeah? I'm not mentioning anything. Please do not laugh trying to initiate. I'm trying to initiate anything.
And you are a shareholder.
I'm a shareholder.
Corruption is bottom going up,
yes,
from the pettiest offenders
yes, going up. So now, Bwana Sharon, what happened in India was very sad. But you will find that the same way I said, people will be squeezed to the corner to levels unimaginable. Right now, Ngonjiri will continue working as a CAS. No questions asked. You get?
So it's only actually to this point, the only thing we know is that his pistol was withdrawn.
Exactly.
For further investigation.
Exactly.
And I think that is the end of the story.
That story has ended there. We have members of parliament re-elected, knowing very well they put people to their beds. They paralyzed people with their guns. You understand? And they're still serving.
Some even made sure that some people were buried.
You get? And they're still serving. Which is very sad, Bwana SP. Now, when you think at it, when you look at it in that angle, then you wonder if what happened in India is necessary. You get? Because if you're going to have demonstrations in Kenya, we are lucky in Kenya, we are God blessed in Kenya. I would say we are God blessed in Kenya because some of the extremes we are seeing is only people are taking their grievances to the streets to demonstrate. Yeah. Nobody is taking it to parliament, but trust me, if people had an opportunity to get to parliament, what you saw in India would only be a pilot for what was going
to happen here.
Yes. So I'm not for that. I'm not for anybody shooting anybody.
Yeah.
But I would say in some levels it is justifiable, Bwana Sharon.
Yeah, it is justifiable because one, I think wananchi are also fed up. The same person who looted billions of shillings that were supposed to be meant for improving security standards in the country, improving road infrastructure, school, health, he's looted, he fires again, he wins, he's now a former MP, you still see him walking the streets with uniformed police officers giving him protection.
Exactly.
Punda akichoka amechoka.
You get?
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when what do you call the shirtless guy?
Eric Omondi.
Eric Omondi. When Eric Omondi took to the parliament, I remember one of the members of parliament passed Eric at the parliament gate. I remember telling you that.
Yeah.
With a government vehicle, issued vehicle, with the policemen around him. Asking Eric, I think he asked him, "Hey, bado muna demonstrate." I think that was his remarks. So when you hear people trying to comment such things, Bwana Sharon, these people are riding in government vehicles.
Paid by the taxpayers.
Kina
sisi hapo.
SP, you're buying unga at 200 Kenya shillings because there are so many taxes, VAT, value. What is value added tax, by the way? Value added tax, the normal part tax, what? Then you have to hear these politicians talking to you like your child. When you have to hear someone saying that none of this was in our manifesto. If you need this, then you should expect this. If you do not expect this, that you need to pay this much. When you hear people making such comments, Bwana Sharon, then it gives you that you do not need you do not need training or skill to sell on the streets to be a hawk. You see, when you hear these are people
we have elected.
These are people we've elected
to represent
We've given them security, SP. It is very paining. So I am not for that, but I understand why people would do that.
Yeah, people lose their patience, and it reaches a point where now, when we see that the government is not doing what is expected of them, watu watachukua sheria katika mikononi mwao.
Yes.
That's why we say the reason why I think the Azimio Brigade left the discussions ndani ya parliament, because one, they felt that parliament was already compromised. That is why we are out in the streets.
Actually, I have a beef with the parliament, or with the opposition also. You see, the opposition is also losing sight. They have tunnel vision because they can only see their direction. They can only see what they want back. So I would put the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga on to task and ask him this. He was saying the CAS positions were not equitably shared. Here is Ngonjiri, who's made a blunder. Take it to parliament. Take it to the street and say we do not want this person. Kwanza simamisho kazi, sindio? That's a slot. Who knows? Someone in opposition would be slotted in there. Because now you have grounds to say Ngonjiri, we do not want him. Because here are the grounds. And I'll repeat it again. If Ngonjiri is the CAS for land, then he should know how the proper channels to file such a case. If he does not know,
if there is a dispute,
this is how to handle it. If he does not know that, Bwana SP, then it is his it's an honest mistake. We agree. Then he should step aside. Hata pelekwa kwa koti, tutakubali it's an honest mistake, lakini akae kando, kazi pewe mtu mwingine, apelekwe induction. Kama kazi bado itakuwa in the next regime, ataingia. You get?
Yeah.
And that is how you deal with these issues.
Yeah.
But I think opposition has a tunnel issue. They only want what they started with. They do not want anything else. These are the issues that are oppressing us, Bwana Sharon. Now we have someone as a CAS for lands who does not know how to go about land issues. Now, how do you expect him to facilitate his CS? How do you expect him to facilitate his CS? It means in the next 5 years, we are going to have so many mishaps in that docket of lands. Because the person who's supposed to facilitate ama to do some duties for the CS does not know how to
do it.
To play his functions.
Yeah.
You get? Yeah. So hata term ndio imeanza, mwaka ijaisha, kumaanisha huyu mtu for the next 5 years hakuna kazi atafanya mzuri. Yeah. Atakuwa na mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Si tutengeneze hii mistake when it's still early.
Kabla kusema tunasema samaki mkunje angali mbichi. Unakumbuka hiyo?
Nakumbuka Kiswahili ulikuwa unataka kutuletea hapa.
Yeah. And that's what was bringing me to my question of what should be done. What is the best penalty to corrupt government officials? Should they face the firing squad? Should they be terminated from job, go to jail? I mean, I think there's so much that should be done, but here in Kenya utapata kama saa zile mtu anaitwa kiongozi.
Exactly.
Buddha boss. Because chief. You can help us answer these questions, because now it is the engagement that we are bringing to you so that we can equally get your thoughts and opinions. What should be done to the proceeds that come from corruption? What should be done to the people who are found in corruption, and what should be done to the proceeds that come from corruption? And still talking about that, my brother, my dear brother, if I should call you that, ili tumalize maandamano.
Ndio maandamano ishe.
I think I have that it's called the soundbite before we get into it. As we get into our very last discussion, is the volume up enough?
Yes, it's up.
Okay.
Biashara ya watu isiharibike.
Okay, I can stand it.
Kama kumuita Raila Odinga my brother ndio itasaidia awache maandamano, awache fujo, mali ya watu isiharibike, biashara ya watu isiharibike, mimi nitamuita my brother mara 10, hata nitaongeza my dear brother.
What do we read from this? Is the president, for lack of a better word, is the president too scared of the maandamano? Or are we equally taking the maandamano too far? Pale ambapo sasa inafika His Excellency Daktari William Samoei Ruto anasema ikibidi nitamuita Buddha boss kanyagia kidogo.
I think the president was trying to be, how do you call it? Ile
kama
ingekuwa ise konyorora. What do you call it? What do you call it?
Communication is communication.
Yeah. I think he was
Samoei Ruto anasema ikibidi.
I think he was trying to be funny. He was living in the moment. He was trying to make a joke, a light to some, a bad to some. I would say to reflect as a bad joke to some people. The maandamano issue is a serious issue.
It is very.
And taking it lightly, making a light joke out of it is not the way to go. People say presidency is a very special place. Any comment you make does not only reflect on your personal life, it reflects on 50 million people.
Shareholders and
non-shareholders. Shareholders mostly.
Na mnanunua unga tu bei kama sisi.
Atumepunguziwa. Tunanunua 59.
Yeah, but now I think it also brings us to the level that the government has felt the heat of this maandamano. And now that the Azimio Brigade is still planning to have more maandamanos, because walisema the last address that His Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga gave to the public, alisema wanangoja tu Ramadhani inaisha hivi pap, they are going back to the streets.
Sarcastic. The word imekuja. The president was trying to be sarcastic.
Yes. But how? You know, whatever the president says at times cannot be taken at the same wavelength by everybody.
That is why I said his opinion stands for 50 million people.
Yeah, exactly. That's those who will understand it at his level of communication, and there are those who will take it like is given in or is given up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see, Bwana Sharon, maandamano imekazia kila mtu. And for the president, I think he's feeling it the most. Because you see, when he does not get to collect revenue from Nairobi and for a whole day, and that is 2 days in a week, then it pulls the economy quite strongly behind. So I think they felt the maandamano, and they are trying to be a bit smarter on how to deal with opposition. But now they found their smartness is landing them back in the same position they started, and now it is time to sarcastically try to tell the opposition leader, please come and we have a conversation, because also the president may not want to seem like he's negotiating with you get the US wanasemaga we cannot negotiate with the terrorists. So
at this level, from the different perspective of understanding what the president was saying, some other people can also understand it as the president is coming to the level of trying to negotiate.
That is what I'm saying, Bwana Sharon. What I'm saying is the president was trying to put it sarcastically. He was trying to show some people, I'm not afraid. They can go on with the maandamano. But now he's also in a very smart way trying to tell the opposition, come, let us talk.
Let us talk.
You get? Because it has reached that point of trying to engage the next person. We have a conversation so this thing can end. It's only that he's not going to say it openly with a straight face that yes, mzee sasa kuja tuongee, baba kuja sasa tuongee. He's telling him yes, kuja tuongee, but he's not going to tell him to this face with a straight face na hajachekesha watu. You see, he needs to make it to quote humorous so people may take it on a very light note, but he's saying it kuja tuongee.
Manake, if you remember, after the very first maandamano that took place, even the deputy president Bwana Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Rigiji alikuja.
Rigiji aliwaambia within 1 week maandamano itakuwa Nairobi, 2 weeks itakuwa Kibera, 3rd week itakuwa Kisumu.
Na yeye mwenyewe alikuja akasema the business community was losing a lot. I still mention that we don't know how he arrived at the statistics of that we are losing 2 billion per day of the maandamano. Yes, we know we lose a lot. The business community is suffering. Even we as the consumers of all these products and services that are halted, kila mtu anaumia. And the reason why I think the sarcastic nature in which the president placed across that if I must call him my brother, my dear brother, sangeza hapa babe. If I must call him babe,
ikuje. You see,
ikuje.
Bwana Sharon,
as your parting shot.
I think there's a piece I said and I did of the maandamano rising, and I said a handshake is inevitable. A handshake will come. It will take some time, but a handshake will come. And I think the president has come to that realization. And I think the president knew even before he won the election, if I'm going to win this election, then I will have to work with this person. And I think even the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga knew if I won the election, I'll have to work with President Ruto. I think both of them they knew this was inevitable.
I think that's why at some point the president tried to say that let the opposition leader have a fully fledged office where he will be getting resources from the government ili aweze kufanya counter checking.
Hiyo Raila hawezi kubali. Hiyo mrudi tena muote. Hiyo hawezi kubali. You see, for me I'm not for that. Because once finances is everything. So if you're going to derive your finances from the same institution that is you're supposed to keep in check, then that is not going to happen. There will be some balances where there are supposed to be checks. So not everything will be at a balance. So I think it is good. Opposition should be independent. Wherever they want to get their finances, let them get their finances from wherever they are. In US, it is working because democracy is farmed. But in Kenya, I do not think it is going to work. The other thing that I believe but it is going to happen. What I think is going to happen is that Baba will have to come and work with Ruto. However, they place their function, it is the same way that is going to happen. We do not know how they're going to put it. But I can promise you this. A year from now, 18 months from now, maybe it is already happened if vile tu hawezi tuonyesha, so they know how to calm the population.
Yeah.
You understand?
In the last regime it was called
handshake. Maybe this time around itakuja itwe kitu ingine.
Ndio hii bipartisan. Unadhani hii bipartisan?
Bipartisan. Maybe itaitwa bipartisan. And the only issue is a handshake kama the bipartisan thing will have to irritate some people.
Yeah, it will, because you can see how firmly the deputy president is fighting against allowing Raila Amolo Odinga to have a talk with. But it's for the benefit of the entire country. We need to be moving.
That is what I said.
Yeah.
And what I said is now the fight will have to come on a very bad level, because the fight will be political now. You see, Baba has a very unique craft in him. He knows how to mobilize, and he knows how to take people to the streets. I do not think the deputy president has those numbers. The convincing power to take people to the streets. So I think his fights will be in a political organ. Maybe mobilize some MPs to go against the president. I do not know. But all I'm saying is unrest is not here. Because if the handshake will come, there will be another unrest, because someone will have to be set aside.
But if that is what will bring peace, prosperity, and continuity.
This is what I'm saying, Sharon. No peace is coming. Because you see, it will be letting one hand go and being. You see, you cannot cut your own hand. Then the pain will be there. You get?
Utapona.
But the functions that you would have done with both hands, I'm not trying to explain anything. All I'm saying is the unrest we have right now is not fixed. You get? Whether the handshake comes or not, it is not fixed. Did you see what happened with the last administration? Baba was brought in and the handshake came. But what happened?
The deputy president
walked out with a very huge number of members of parliament. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No function could function. No bills could go through in parliament. Nothing would happen. You get? A very good package called BBI. Even the president himself, His Excellency William Ruto said, BBI was not a bad thing. It's only that it was channeled through the wrong way.
And now, when we're talking about BBI, let me take only a close, or just one. They were saying that BBI inataka kupatia wale wakubwa zaidi offices. I think they are implementing BBI but using different terminologies.
That is what I'm trying to tell you right now.
What position is...
that is what I'm telling you right now. You see, if BBI was signed in, if His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, the president, was in good eye with the former president Uhuru, BBI would have gone through. You understand that?
Yeah.
It would have gone through. It would have had no opposition. Now, all these clusters that are being leveled, like the CS, the CS, the PCS, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, it would have been legal. You understand?
I get you.
The number of CAS that have been added, that is the 50 now. Hakungekuwa na issues. You understand? Now, I think my director is saying we need to move now. But the party short is this, Bonasharo.
Yeah, before I get some shout-outs from a few people here as we close.
As I close now, and that is the last one now. Where was I?
Parting shot.
The parting shot. Corruption in Kenya thrives because ignorant men do not take action. And by ignorant men, I see the opposition in this handle. If the opposition is in this Ngojiri's case, we handle one item per step. This is what is stressing right now. Let them handle that as we move on. Kuna time the right honorable Raila Odinga alikuwa na grab the bull by its horn. Kitu ikifanyika saa hiyo anaishughulikia saa hiyo inaisha. I think that is the way to go.
Now it's time the opposition leader and the entire Azimio brigade woke up. be it through maandamano, be it through the parliament, but we need to see the country fixed. We need to be moving, and whatever Right Honorable Baba Raila Amolo Odinga atasema, watu watafuata mkondo. He brought us public holidays without gazettement. And now, Mr. Mwita, there are a few people here who are saying shout out to us. Ndipo sasa simu inakata kujifungua. Just a little time as we wind. Okay. Where? Baka nimesweat. Now, initially we had this is Damaris Mtula, thank you so much. Zagio Degi, Collins Odoya, a very good friend of mine. Hapo amesema we are doing great. Shukran sana. Olivia Odhiambo amesema nani alisema mpango wa kando lazima awe ni dem pekee. Akasema Mwita, stop joking. Mpango wa kando unaweza kuwa mpaka mwanaume. Bola, thank you so much. This is Rolex Uchienga and Reverend Father Joshua Omega amesema anapenda setup sana. Due to time, we want to go further than this. We want to say thank you so much for always keeping the comments coming and keeping us going. Follow us, leave a comment, share and subscribe to our channel at Sharon Paul Media and Thuku Media Thuku as well. In YouTube and kwenye Facebook ni Sharon Paul SP and Thuku Mwita Thuku. Bwana Thuku,
yes.
Tufunge kabla stima zizimwe. A word of prayer.
That is us for now. Yeah. Thank you very much. Keep up with us tomorrow. I think we're going to join in you the same hour. Thank you very much. This is a focus group. And now we take it to the prayers. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen.
Ideas, have a lovely evening, ladies and gentlemen.